What's up, everybody? I am Brandon, and you are watching ADHD Game Dev channel. I know if you watch the channel, you're probably expecting, I don't have all that fancy pants set up here. Okay, so last night I jumped on and thought, what the heck, let's just stream for a few minutes and I'll just test something. I didn't have any audio because I was at my other computer. I'm bougie like that. I have a small piece of junk computer. Okay, it's actually nice enough for me to do stuff on. But what I was doing, and we're back again here. We're back again. We are working on Project Tiny. What's Project Tiny? Who are you? Who am I? Who is anybody around here? So this is a project where I am working on an idea in Godot. I'm trying to learn the Godot engine, namely, and mess around with. I wouldn't call it a dream project, but it's one of those that just pops around in the back of my head from time to time. And it's where you're playing as an itty bitty 2-inch tall forest sprite. So I've got, it looks kind of funny because I've got this grass collider around him. But there's your forest sprite character, complete with acorn hat, which, I had that looking a little bit better in my Blender setup. But we'll see if I can tweak I'll see if I can tweak things over here. But let's open up Blender while we're at it over here. And I'm also going to go and walk around the world here for you while that gets going. This is what I'm referring to as Zone 1. It's really more of a testing zone. Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? And what I'm really doing here is just kind of getting a look around at all the assets and how everything might look and feel. And I was trying to import assets, again, learning Godot. So getting assets in that I liked and seeing what the overall styling might be like. So this is a lot of experimentation and kind of a prototyping just to see if I like the concept at all. I do have an idea for the whole game. And here's the thing. Here's the thing with me. It's a good thing, bad thing, but I will have an idea and I can get it like 3 miles down the road before I've even really thought about it too hard. Okay, it's okay, but the weird thing about that is that means that I wind up with a lot of projects I didn't really think through, but just because I can just intuitively take off and I'm off to the races and getting a lot of stuff done, it means I can start a project that I didn't really think through, and I don't really have the gas in the tank to finish it. So if you follow my YouTube, you probably see me messing around with a lot of different stuff, and I think that goes with just me. I don't want to say ADHD too much. It's on the channel. You know who I am. I don't want to lean on that too much. But it's just the way I am. So this is something, if I had like half an idea and I jump into Godot and I want to start messing around to see, whoa, what did I do? Whoops, I shouldn't have done that. And I start messing around to see how that might work. The truth of it is that Godot actually just made it so easy for me. I said in another post that I've really gotten to be a Godot fanboy here, and I don't mind. That's cool. It deserves it. It really let me get in here and just start dropping in assets and putting things together. And before I know it, I just started sort of falling into making something. This was a third-person character controller, and I figured out how to reskin it and to get my own rigging done into the GLB model and import the whole thing and set it all up. He doesn't cast a shadow. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe he's a vampire. I don't know how these things work. I'm all new to this. But the cool thing is that the other assets that I got, we've got this big tree. That's a Sketchfab asset. This log and the mushrooms are part of an asset pack that I got from the Epic store. The grass is part of the grass, simple grass textured add-on that I got. Now, obviously, grass is meant to be down around your feet, even in that kind of a thing, but when I scaled it up, it worked out pretty well. That gives me the opportunity, because that asset is really convenient to work with. It gives me the opportunity to replace anything with a simple PNG file. So that means that I can just get in there and I can make an upscaled, better version of it. These rocks and the mushrooms and the logs and all that was all the same asset. So I've been making good use of it. It was originally created for an Unreal Engine implementation, so I had to modify it. Look at this. So I had to modify it to make them work here, but they came in pretty well. I don't know my Godot shaders well enough, and I didn't want to install Unreal and try to figure out the shader path and translate it all over. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to do what I can in Blender. I'll show you that if you want to. So this tree trunk, this tree branch is also part of the same pack. And I'm going with stylized. This is part of the look. You see the way this moss kind of gets out of my way. That's part of the simple grass add-on. Same thing as the grass there. So what I said was it's so easy. I like that asset, that add-on quite a bit. Because I can swap out a PNG file and boom, here you have it. It's so easy to paint with. I don't mind showing you that if you'd like to see it. Okay, so scaling. Oh, scaling. Scaling has been interesting in this game. It's one of the things I was trying to figure out as I was messing around with the game concept to find out how I liked it and how it looked and how it felt and if I enjoyed it. Yeah, so gotta fix that too. Sheesh, I can't fix everything. You notice the camera keeps glitching. That's something I want to add to the code because if the angles get weird, the camera will just snap. So I'm going to add a transition to it instead of just a snap like that because I don't like it. And I'll probably also fix it to where it can't get too close. I say these things and it's like, okay, I haven't gotten to it because I haven't gotten to it. I got a bunch of other stuff going on. And this is one of those things of you'll have this feeling of having 30 different things that are on your mind that you need to do, right? And you cannot do them all at once. You just can't do them all at once. So you really have to pick your battles and take them one at a time. And that's one of the things that I've been trying to learn is that everything will get done. I just need to be patient and pick my way through it bit by bit. So we're working on it. Oh, look at that. By the way, his hat looks better in the actual world with the lighting instead of in the in the scene itself. But yeah, here's some of these other assets. I love this stump, and here's these mushrooms. So I don't want the game to be all about just jumping around, but all right, I'm ignoring the fact that the camera keeps snapping around like that, and you're going to have to ignore it too. I think we're all going to ignore it. Here's this log. Here's some moss that I made. It's all right. My moss is okay. I found that when I was making my own assets, I wasn't liking them as much as just assets that I got from other people who had worked on them. I've kind of been shifting my attitude around to being more of a game director instead of trying to be good at making everything, because I can't make everything. I can't be good at everything, right? You have to pick your battles, and in this case, it's better for me to be able to assemble all these parts and kind of move the project down the road instead of me trying to spend a month trying to get one character to work. I don't need to spend a couple weeks writing my own character controller when somebody else has already made one available. Thank you very much. I can get them because the Godot community is so cool. People will offer things for free or for asking for donations and things, and it's awesome. So I'm happy to work in that kind of environment and help them out and support them because they did a solid for me. There's no sound in this. You just get to hear me talking. One thing I'll note here is the sense of scale. Okay, if your character is supposed to be like 2 inches tall, the sense of scale goes right out the window. And this is a trouble because you look at these tree assets which look like that. That's what they're supposed to look like. But when I'm using them and amping them up, they look different. I'm not having the level of detail that I might want. So I'm having to decide how far I want to go with that. How detailed I need to make them. I'm going for what you call stylized, which is just shy of cartoonish. So I think this ground I really like. It's a photo reference though, and it might not be what I'm going for. I also need to be able to paint. I'm also going to need to be able to paint in different textures and pathing and things like that. So maybe something a little bit more greenish and grassy because it's kind of odd to me to just have the grass just pop like that. But I like these, and I like that styling. So this is what we call stylized. Not exactly cartoonish, stylized. Good. I like it, and I think it fits with the character. I think it fits with the grass. I'm going to talk about the grass a lot. I know it seems like, why the heck am I harping on that? Well, because you're 2 inches tall. And grass is really, really significant and important when you're 2 inches tall. It's one of the things you're going to see a lot in this game world. It's not something that's just like a green carpet out there. It is looming over your head. So it's very important to get that right. So yes, I keep harping on that one, but there is a good reason for it in this case. So cool. Let's see what we're up to here. I'm going to show you. What did you want to see? What did we want to look at today? We had Blender. Let's jump over. We'll look at Blender. Yeah. We're over here in Blender land. This is a tree I was importing from the same model pack. I didn't get the textures working quite right. And I was like, I don't know. And considering the way that everything was looking on the other tree when I was up close to it, what I got to thinking about is maybe it would behoove me to take some assets like these and just maybe actually make some blocks of pieces and chunks of bark over them, at least at the lower half. So when you're close to it, it really looks like you're up close to a tree, because it's that level of detail that you have to get into when you're really small and you're really close to items, because no assets of this nature that you ever get are ever going to be meant to be viewed this close. I am just making life difficult on all of this. There we go. It looks better rendered, doesn't it? You see what I mean? My moss, I'm not going to over criticize it, but my moss looks like a green poo, doesn't it? But this is one of those things like, okay, I cannot sit here and think about this all day long. I got to get to the other things. But these assets do look really nice. I did get, in the same asset pack, I was messing around with getting these grass elements. So I was trying these grass elements as part of the terrain 3D. And I just didn't like them. I didn't like the way they looked compared to the simple grass textured function that I was getting out of it. But I did like the mushrooms quite a bit. These are nice, and we'll see several of those in the game. Let's jump back over to Godot. I'll show you here. Man, this is this fly camera in Godot, and then I go back over to Blender and I start trying to use these shortcuts. I'm like, no, wrong ones. There you go. There you go. See these mushrooms? Those are the same ones that we saw a second ago. There's my moss poo, and there's another one of those mushrooms, and there's a couple more over there. So you see just a few assets like that put into the space are really working. I don't think these trees are quite fitting. Anyway, what I really got to get to is gameplay elements, and frankly, I don't care right now because I'm just having fun and messing around. The thing that has really surprised me working on this is the sense of scale. Wow, like zoom back. What is this? What is this at scale? I don't know. This is like just a little. Is this just a puddle? Is it a pond? And I got to figure out where the water is coming from and where the water is going, which means I need to map out everything. So, yeah, these are the considerations that are in my mind. I don't know how to really build out the entire game space, but I'm using the assets and getting used to that. So if we have like the Terrain 3D asset add-on, come on, too slow. I feel like I'm painting in the scale of mountains half the time. I don't know. It all seems wrong. So the Terrain 3D is kind of cool, though. I can just, do this kind of thing, and it looks pretty good. So I have to go in there and test it again and again with the character. But what we can do is set in the Terrain 3D, it can say set height, and I'll use the match height, and it really flattens it off like that. So that's kind of fun. So that allows you to raise things up. But what that got me to thinking about is, okay, so if I'm over here and I want the player to navigate here, there, and the other direction and then go around, it actually worked out pretty good when you come into the space that I really spent time on over here. You come under the log, and then you walk up to this big rock, and then there is a left and a right after you come over the rock, right? So when you come up here, you should be presented with a view of something. This should be, in video game parlance, this is called the prospect, right? So So the prospect is that open space where you see the opportunity of the world out in front of you. And so in a game like this, there will be lots of moments of the prospect. But what I would like to have happen in this game is that people should not feel like they're just wanting to run through the space. You're supposed to want to come in here and hang out. One of my kids, my daughter, was checking it out, and she came over here by the water, and she says, "I just want to sit down. Can I just sit down?" And I was like, yes, actually, that's exactly the attitude that I want you to have. My ideal for this, you would, come around the trees and everything, find your way up here, and then if I had weather and it starts raining, you as a player would just decide that you would like to camp here in the shade of this log here and cook some food. If I could create that kind of experience, it would be wonderful. So that's where my mind goes when I'm thinking about what a game could be. I'm not thinking about run across here and jump up there and pow, pow, pow. I don't want to have a hack and slash kind of game. I want you to be in the world and feel like you live here. So if I can create a feel and an experience, that to me is what is more meaningful and more impactful than anything else. So all the rest of this stuff is just a bunch of tools for me to get to that point. At my heart, I think I'm a storyteller, and I want to create experiences more than anything. I want you to feel something. So instead of having you do something, I'm a lot more interested in having you feel something. So I think that's what's really memorable in a video game, is not that, do you see the way I jumped up and slashed that monster? Dude, after you've slashed 30 of the monsters, it doesn't have that big of an impact anymore. You remember the feeling that you got when you defeated a difficult boss and got through to the next area. Okay, so in this case, I want you to remember the feeling of being here in this world, and that if you want to experience that again, there's only one place where you can get that. You have to come back here to experience that again. So anyway, that's where I'm at right now. Okay. Funsies. Excellent. So, streaming stuff. Okay, that's all good. So I think I'm pondering right now, how the heck do I continue on and make a game out of this, and what do I want you to do? I had originally had this concept of trying to find a path through an area, which means in actual activity, what that means is getting to different points and different markers in the area. And traversal would be a big thing in this game. I would love to be able to make a game whereby you might come up across a log that's fallen across the path like this, but that you could throw a grappling hook up there, and that and that you would be able to get to the top of it, right? So you can imagine coming up here and a little tiny grappling hook comes up, and then you go to the top of it, and yeah. I don't know. That just seems like the thing for me. All right. Well, everybody, this has been a lot of fun hanging out. And I got to be honest right now, I am not even sure what is being seen out here. But this is our first test stream. If nothing works out here, I'll just delete the whole thing later on. But anyway, it's been cool having you with me today. And good to see you all. And we'll be back again some later time. I want to talk about a new thing, the watermelon funnel. Zero context given. And I hope that you will be awesome today. Bye, everybody.